Hey everybody, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Do me a favor before we get started. I need you to hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, I need you to do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and notification bell next to it so that you will not miss episode. So we're going to talk about how to get rich without people noticing. All right. So um, when it comes to being rich or wealthy, rich and wealthy are two different things. So in each case, it's important to talk less. So what kind of fun is that? That's no fun, right? So it's important things to learn on the path to becoming wealthy. And one of those things is to talk less. So rich people tend to stay low key. So kind of like that secret rich person that's walking in the crowd, standing right next to you, and you would never know they are rich. So that's how most people are that are rich. Of course, you're going to find your outliers, right? There are people out here that have no problem telling you that they are wealthy, but obviously, there's some importance to staying quiet, um, which I see no fun in that at all. Once you have achieved a level of success, then you have to talk less, and that is not fun. All right. But of course, I see the reasoning behind that. And that's one of the lessons to learn on the journey of becoming wealthy. Talk less, right? So, in the event that you get a raise or a promotion, it's important to keep your same lifestyle and to drive the same types of cars, wear the same kind of clothes, have the same kind of homes. Well, that's no fun. Does that sound like any fun to you? Right? So that's what the majority of the wealthy people do. Of course, there are outliers out here, right? So you've seen the TV shows of the luxury homes, the luxury cars. So really that's your choice. Some people showboat and other people stay quiet. So whatever you choose to do once you reach that point, it's really up to you. In fact, I would like to have both people on my show. If you're watching, check out my email and contact me. I would like to have some showboaters on here, and I would like to have the people that stay low key on here. And then you can go back and forth with the pros and cons of each on the show. If you're interested, my email is below. Come on to the show. All right. So avoid the pressure of spending more money. When you get more money, when you get a raise, when you get a promotion, avoid the pressure of spending more money and keep that money. When you make more money, keep the money. All right. So staying low key, that is what the majority of people do. So the all the rich people around you, they would never let you know that they're rich. In fact, I saw a statistic that said that 1 out of 22 people that reside in New York are millionaires. I saw another statistic that said 1 out of 21 people that reside in Chicago are millionaires, right? So I find that interesting in the fact that people, first of all, they don't share and they keep their business to themselves, right? So 1 out of 21, that's a very, very high number, right? So people know how to keep their mouth shut. 1 out of 21 people are millionaires. People know how to keep their mouth shut. Don't you find that statistic interesting? The other interesting thing about that is the fact that people know how to keep their mouth shut. But the other interesting fact to that is that the number is so high, 1 out of 21. So if it's going to be 1 out of 21, why don't you be that one? You know what I mean? Join the ones. Join the ones. That's a lot of people. All right. So build wealth quietly. When you get money, invest it into things that are going to go up in value. Invest it into things that are going to go up in the value. Money, it should not be in a bank account. You're making no money by having your money in a bank account. However, if you switch that and you put your money into assets, then your money is going to be making more money. So majority of money should not be in a bank account. The money that is in the bank account, that is only for emergencies where you need quick access to it. Other than that, it should be invested. All right. Limit social media. Limit social media. All right. Um, Having a low profile is important. Avoiding showboating is important, like showing off the cars and showing off the assets that you have. Um, that's important. And not telling your every move is important. All right. So you're not telling every award that you have. You're not telling about every asset that you have. Um, so that's important. Not telling your every move. All right. Um, so I thought it was interesting how the attack on Iran, right? So nobody saw that coming. So you heard about it after it happened, right? Or for instance, what about the movies that Tyler Perry makes, right? So he didn't announce it; he just went and did it, and then you heard about it after the movie came out. So not telling your every move. So that's interesting. That's a good lesson to know on the journey to wealth. So not telling you every move, just go do it. All right. And that's kind of interesting, especially if you have a heart to help people, right? So you have a heart to help people. You want to help people, and you can't tell them your every move. So I think that's interesting. So in essence, what the lesson is to help yourself. That's what I would say the lesson is. So you have a heart to help people, but you have to help yourself. Why? Because there are people out here that are um, trying to stop you. They're trying to pull you down. So don't tell your every move, which would be interesting for people who have a heart to help people. What do you think about that? So all these are very important lessons on the journey of building wealth. Focus on finances, limit social media, keep a low profile, avoid showboating, and don't tell your every move. All right. Next, invest. Invest. So investing in ETFs and index funds. All right. This is growing your money passively, dollar cost averaging, making it automatic investing so that you don't even think about it. Automatic investing so you don't even think about it. Reinvesting your dividends, investing in ETFs and index funds, not getting caught up in the trend. And you know what I mean by that. Not getting caught up in the trend. Dollar cost averaging, making it automatic so that you don't even think about it. Next, multiple streams of income, not just a job. not just a job. Multiple streams of income. Thinking of other ways to make money outside of a job. The job is important. Keep your job as long as possible on the path to building wealth. Use the job as a stepping stone. However, creating other ways of making income outside of a job. That could be products, it could be a YouTube channel, it could be real estate. But finding multiple streams of income, finding out other ways to make money besides just a job. So, what do you have to learn? What do you have to learn? You have to learn how to sell. You have to learn how to sell. Right? Learn how to sell. Next, creating LLCs for your investment properties. This is to keep your name off of the public records. Creating LLCs. So you don't have to do that in the beginning, but once you start accumulating more and more and more and more and more, then you have to protect yourself more and more and more and more and more. You do that with LLCs. Keep your name off of public records, right? Next, you want to be sure to help other people and give to other people. Help and give, right? Next, network with like-minded people. Network with like-minded people. So, meeting other people that are like-minded. So, this channel is about finances. This channel is about building wealth. So, networking with people who are interested in building wealth. For example, everyone that watches this channel is not interested in building wealth. Some will tell you that they don't want a business and they don't want to do nothing. So, do you network with that kind of person? Do you network with a person that does not want to do nothing? So, you network with people that are like minded. If you want to build wealth, you network with people that want to build wealth. And how do you know that they want to build wealth? Because they have action. They're working. They're working behind the scenes. They're working behind the scenes to build wealth. They're doing something, right? So, for instance, everyone who watches this channel doesn't want to build wealth. And how do you know that? Well, they haven't started on the business. They've been thinking about it for a year. They already know what business they want, right? But a whole year has passed by and they have no action, right? Network with like-minded people. They want the same thing that you want. So how do you find these people? Well, I would say prayer. Pray for divine connections. You could start a podcast. You could start a podcast and interview people. Perhaps build relationships. You could go to networking events, conferences. So those are the ways to get started. But just having the idea of networking with like-minded people. And then next, I would say is to keep growing and learning. Keep growing and learning. And how do you keep growing and learning? You keep growing and learning by reading the books, and actually doing it. You learn by actually doing it, right? So you can listen to podcasts, and that is going to be more for emotional support. And you hear these people talking about doing the same things you're interested in because nobody else around you is interested. But the people on these podcasts, they're interested. Reading the books and actually go doing it. Go do it. All right. So the real work is when no one knows about it. That's when the real work is. The real work is when you're working and no one knows about it. Now, some people may know about it because they're watching you. Surveillance, right? But the everyday person doesn't know about it. And that's where the real work is. So go do the work. Do the work. And I'm pointing to you, but I'm pointing to me also that we got to do the work. All right. And that is where the growth is going to come from. Little by little, step by step, even when it seems like nothing is happening. Seems like nothing is happening. But eventually, you know what's going to happen? Eventually, you're going to figure it out. And eventually, you're going to be in a better place than you are now. You're not going to be in the same place 10 years from now. You're not going to be in the same place. Why? Because you're doing the work. 10 years from now, you're going to be in a better place. And your future self is going to thank you. So do the work now while you have activity of your limbs. Do the work now while you can walk. There are people out here that can't walk. Do the work now while you can walk, while you can breathe. There are people out here that can't breathe. They're on an oxygen tank. Do the work now while you have your health and your strength. There are people out here that don't have health and strength. They're laying up in a hospital bed. They're laying up in a psych ward. They're in jail. They're in prison. All right. So I'm not going to force you. Like I said before, everybody watching me is not interested in progress. They just want to watch. And so if that's you, thank you for watching. But for everybody else, we're moving, we're progressing. All right. We're not going to be in the same place now, 10 years from now. All right. So thank you, everyone. Do me a favor. If you like the channel, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and notification bell next to it so that you will not miss an episode. Continue to tune in. I will be bringing people onto the show. I will be interviewing people. I interview entrepreneurs, right? And the interesting thing about what I just said is as far as staying low key, it's important that your network is low key also, right? Um, right. All right. So do me a favor, hit that like button if you like the channel. Not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and notification bell next to it so that you will not miss an episode. If you made it this part in the video, comment the word asset. If you're interested in buying property, either now or in the future, check out the link below. Join the waitlist for the real estate group. And if you are a beautiful man, if you are attractive and you're gorgeous and handsome, look at the link below. Check it out. All right. Thank you for watching, everyone. On your way out, hit this like button, and I will see ya on the next video. Bye.